What would it be like to be the governor of a state facing that kind of onslaught? Well, let's bring in former governor of Arkansas, Mike Huckabee. Governor, I'm sure perhaps you've not been in exactly the same situation, but you faced this emergency. What goes through your head as soon as you realize what's coming at you?
Well, you do really three things. First, you plan for the retreat and the evacuation. Then you look at the rescue operation. And the third thing is the recovery when the storm is finished. When you're talking about floodwaters, you're really talking about the single most dangerous thing. When people say, oh, it's a Cat 2 hurricane, it doesn't matter. What really matters here is the floodwaters, because 6 inches of water moving knocks you off your feet. 10-mile-an-hour water moving has the effect of 270-mile-per-hour winds. Cool. And people underestimate the force of water. And so what you have to do is to look at all of the assets that you have as a state and start standing them up well in advance of the storm. I guarantee you Governor Abbott in Texas has already done that. A second thing that he has done is established a command center. So he's bringing all of his agencies into one place where they can network together and then deploy the assets as needed the moment that they are needed and in advance. And the third thing he's doing, Stuart, he's activating something that very few people have ever heard of called EMAC, the Emergency Management Assistance Compact. This is where he can actually request assets from other states if he needs more trucks, if he needs more water, if he needs helicopters. And he has run out of resources within his own sort of inventory. Then he can call upon states anywhere in the country. All 50 states are a part. Those governors will then send those assets that they have to Texas and give that governor assistance during the storm.
And it would be the governor of the state who is judged on their performance. How well did you handle this disaster? It's a political judgment, but a very important judgment nonetheless.
I've always said to an incoming governor, and I used to sort of train them for the National Governors Association, on day one, the most important thing you need to be prepared for, and the #1 staff position you need to have, is your emergency management director. Because you don't know when the tornado's coming. You don't know when 30 inches of rain may hit and create a flood. You'll have a few days preparation for a hurricane. But the point is, it's the one thing for which people will not forgive you if you mess it up. It absolutely is the most important test, and to be prepared in advance is important. But then how do you manage the aftermath? Where do you do with people who are displaced? Let me just make a suggestion. When we had the effects of Katrina and Rita back in 2005, we ended up with 75,000 people displaced out of Louisiana and our state. That meant our population increased by 3% in less than 5 days. A lot of particular, I guess, traditional methods is put them in big arenas. That's a big mistake because everything can go wrong there. Right now, here at the beginning of, let's say, the end of August and the beginning of September, summer camps are closed. And, Stuart, the smart thing, activate those summer camps that haven't been winterized, give access to people, let the state run them, but access every church and scout camp you can. It's a good place for people to be because they can be fed, housed, showered, and protected.
Texas is listening, Governor, and thanks for joining us this morning. Big day. Thank you, sir. Appreciate it.
Thank you.